The events kick off on the night Miller's comet streaks across the sky. 8 old friends gather for a dinner party at the California home of Mike and Lee. On her way there, Emily chats with her boyfriend Kevin over the phone, but just before she arrives, her call drops and the screen of her phone suddenly shatters for no reason. Once inside, she tells the group what happened and mentions that she heard the comet could cause odd disturbances like this. She then learns that Amir is bringing along Lori, Kevin's former girlfriend, which makes things awkward. Beth, another friend already at the house, offers Emily a natural calming remedy which turns out to contain ketamine and casually leaves the bottle in the kitchen while admiring a glass vase. Soon after, Hugh and Kevin arrive. Kevin tries to convince Emily to accompany him on a work trip to Vietnam, but she hesitates. Kevin bluntly tells her that avoiding a decision is no different than refusing. During dinner, Lori openly flirts with Kevin, trying to reignite their past romance. Meanwhile, no one has cell service, which they assume is connected to the comet. Emily recalls a story about a comet that passed over Finland in 1923, during which people reported bizarre phenomena, including a woman claiming to see her husband alive even though she had killed him the night before. The friends begin talking about their careers, but confusion arises as their recollections don't match. For instance, Mike insists he's an actor in a TV series that Lori claims to love, but she refuses to acknowledge him as the star. Hugh checks his phone only to find its screen cracked. He explains that his brother, a physicist, asked him to call if anything strange occurred during the comet's passing. Suddenly, the power goes out. Mike and Lee light candles and dig out a box of glow sticks, handing out blue ones. Mike steps outside and is shocked by the pitch-black darkness, except for one nearby house still lit up. When he tells the group, they all go outside to look, and when they return, they notice a glass in their home has mysteriously broken. Nobody knows how it happened. Hugh insists on visiting the house with power to try calling his brother, and Amir volunteers to go with him. After they leave, Mike manages to get a generator running, restoring electricity. The two men eventually return, but Hugh has a gash on his forehead and Amir carries a box they found. Inside are ping-pong paddles and photos of the group, including a picture clearly taken that same night with numbers scrawled on the back. When asked what he saw, Hugh admits the other house looked identical, right down to another dinner party with 8 guests. This leads them to realize the lit-up house is a parallel version of their own. Emily copies down the numbers from the photos, hoping to spot a pattern, but they can't figure it out. Hugh suggests leaving a note at the other house, so the group writes one. Soon they hear noises outside. Lori panics, and when Mike opens the door, they find their own note pinned to it, word for word, the same message they just wrote. Now rattled, Emily, Kevin, Mike, and Lori decide to head toward the other house to investigate. But once outside, there's nothing, no people, and no house at all. After walking for some distance, the group encounters an area of complete darkness, almost like a void. Once they cross through it, the duplicate house finally comes into view. But before they can get closer, they come face to face with versions of themselves, only these doubles are carrying red glow sticks instead of blue. Startled, both groups panic and rush back toward their own homes. Back inside, Emily and the others explain what happened, revealing that they saw exact copies of themselves. Hugh and Amir admit they also crossed that strange dark zone earlier, which unsettles everyone further. Curious, Emily pushes Hugh to find answers, so he retrieves a set of physics notes from his car, lectures written by his brother. Going through the material, they conclude that Miller's comet has somehow fractured reality into parallel versions, and when the comet passes, only one timeline will remain. This sparks arguments about what to do regarding the neighboring house. Mike, drunk and paranoid, insists their doubles must be eliminated before those doubles decide to kill them first. Others are hesitant, but the tension keeps rising. They even consider stealing the physics notes from the alternate Hugh's car, ensuring that version of the group doesn't gain the same knowledge. Mike privately tells Kevin that he plans to blackmail the other version of himself to keep those notes out of their hands. Kevin tries to talk him down, but Mike storms off anyway. It's then revealed that the Hugh and Amir currently with them are not from this house at all. They unknowingly crossed into the red glow stick reality when they returned from outside. Checking their pockets, they realize they're carrying red sticks, not blue. Realizing the mistake, they take the box of photographs and the lecture notes and head back to their own version of the house. Meanwhile, Emily remains inside with Lee and Beth. Beth once again admires the vase and repeats the same question about it, making Emily realize she too is in the wrong house. Moments later, Beth spots Lori kissing Kevin in the hallway, and accusations begin to fly. In the chaos, Beth is wrongly blamed for spiking the food with the ketamine she had brought earlier. The group hears a crash outside and rushes to investigate, discovering that Hugh's car window has been smashed. As the others argue, Emily slips away to her car to retrieve the ring Kevin had once given her. But as she steps out, she finds Kevin standing there. They share a tender moment until Emily realizes this Kevin isn't hers at all, but one from another reality. Emily heads back inside just as Hugh and Amir, the real versions with blue glow sticks, finally return. They tell the group that at the other house they discovered not one but two notes, proving there are more than just two overlapping realities. Slowly everyone realizes that each time they step into that dark zone outside, they're crossing into a random alternate version of the same night. To keep track of their own timeline, they decide to mark their house with a box containing a random object and photos of themselves. On the back of the photos, they jot down numbers generated by rolling dice. The plan is to compare these numbers with those collected from other houses. But when Emily looks at the notepad, she notices that the numbers written earlier don't match what she remembers recording. When she confronts the group, she realizes only Lee and Beth's memories line up with what's written since they never left the house. Kevin and Laurie's memories match Emily's because they've always been by her side. Hugh and Amir recall a completely different sequence of numbers since they crossed into the red glow stick house before landing back here. Mike meanwhile remembers yet another variation because he shifted realities when he went to confront his other self. Tension boils over when a blackmail note suddenly arrives, exposing an affair between Mike and Beth from over a decade ago. The revelation enrages Hugh, who lashes out and viciously beats Mike. During the struggle, Mike suggests that maybe they're the dark version of the group, the dangerous doubles. Before anyone can process this, another Mike storms into the house, attacking his counterpart before fleeing again. This incident terrifies Laurie, who clings to Kevin for comfort. At the same time, Emily decides she can't take it anymore. She slips out, braving the shifting realities in search of a version where things haven't completely unraveled. But as she moves from house to house, she sees disturbing variations. In one, Kevin and others are tied up. In another, Hugh and Mike are locked in violent combat. In yet another, the entire group is in chaos, fighting among themselves. Eventually, Emily stumbles into a version of reality where everything seems normal, no tension, no paranoia, and no one aware of the fractured timelines. Here, the group is relaxed, laughing, and drinking together as if nothing strange has happened. In this world, the other Emily had already agreed to join Kevin on his Vietnam trip, and their relationship is stronger than ever. Seeing this, Emily decides she wants this version of life for herself. She sneaks into the house through the back door, grabs the ketamine, and then deliberately smashes Hugh's car window to lure everyone outside. With the group distracted, she heads toward her car to retrieve the ring Kevin had once given her, but before she can make her move, her alternate self ambushes her with the ketamine. As Miller's comet fragments in the night sky, Emily fights back, overpowers her double, and assumes her place in this seemingly perfect reality. When she returns inside, Lee casually asks where she's been. Emily lies, saying she was outside admiring the comet. Moments later, however, her wounded double crawls into the house, forcing Emily to subdue her again, this time leaving her unconscious in the bathtub. During the struggle, Emily loses her ring but takes the one from her double's finger before rejoining the others. Exhausted, she collapses in the living room. By morning, daylight streams through the windows. Emily wakes on the sofa, the party appearing completely normal, everyone acting as if nothing ever happened. Her double is nowhere to be found. Stepping outside, she notices Hugh's car window is still shattered, but the physics notebook remains inside. Kevin then approaches her, tenderly handing her a ring he says he found in the bathroom. Just then, his phone rings. The caller ID shows Emily's number. Kevin answers, listening silently, then turns to look at her with suspicion. Emily glances down at the two rings in her hand, one from herself, one from her double, just as the film cuts to black.